where I've been in the last 2 months is very much in a state of trying to figure out what I'm doing with my life. And I am trying a lot of different things. For example, I am in the process of building a community. Well, I have built a community of women on the Costa del Sol. I'm trying to figure out what to do with it next. I am a little bit in a slump with it because I honestly don't know I don't know what to do with it, because I would love to create an app, but I don't have any money to do that. And creating an app is extremely expensive, so I am not in a position to do that. But I'm looking into avenues. I actually have 2 meetings with different investors / advisors. I don't really know what to expect from them. It kind of came from LinkedIn. They both reached out to me, and yeah, we'll see. I've got one tomorrow and one next week, so I'm intrigued whether I get some great advice or maybe some investing. I don't really know. I'm just going with the flow with it all, because I would love it to become something, and I have an amazing idea for an app and I would love to make it something, but I'm just going to try my best, do a little bit of a fuck it, life's a game kind of vibe of just reaching out to a lot of people if these 2 don't work, giving it my all to see if I can make something happen. And if I can't, well, then that's just the way it is. At least I can say I tried. But yeah, it's kind of in a position at the minute where it's bottlenecking a little bit, just because there's quite a lot of people in the community now, and creating events is a lot of work. I don't get any money from it, and I need to make some money, so I'm trying to concentrate also on other things, such as at the minute I'm looking into building a social media marketing agency, which from the ground up is quite a lot of work. Stressed myself out a little bit on Monday with that, because I was just in a dark place of comparing myself to other people and feeling like I wasn't good enough or wasn't smart enough. My imposter syndrome was popping off, and yeah, I was in a really bad place and I couldn't seem to get out of it on Monday. But that's a whole other story. Like, I was just really self-hatred mode and feeling like I wasn't worth it, and yeah, like my brain was in self-destruct. Feeling a little bit better today. Yes, I still have doubts. Yes, I'm still confused to what to focus on, because I need money, but then I also really want to focus on this community. I am actually doing some UGC at the minute, hence why I'm in this location. I have come out here to film some stuff. I took a few pictures for this brand called Dopper, which is super exciting, and I potentially have another UGC client in the shadows. I don't know what you want to say there. I'm working on things like the UGC is something that I'm hoping can bring me in some like little side income while I try and figure everything out. It still takes a lot of work, so you got to outreach. I created a portfolio. Again, went through the whole thing of, oh my God, I'm not good enough, I don't have anything. But then I sat down and was like, breathe. Let's look at the kind of content you've created before for your own platform. And I found some stuff and I was like, look, it's not perfect. It's not the best content that I can create, but I'm going to put it out there and I'm going to ask. And if you don't ask, you don't get, which is what I did. And ended up getting 2 people reply. I have probably messaged around maybe like 35 to 40 people, and I've managed to get 2 people to reply. So put into perspective, I'm going to keep going with that and seeing what else comes from it, because it's fun, it allows me to be creative, and also some money, because I need money. Life isn't money, but money does help with life. Yeah, then the whole marketing agency thing, it's like I'm trying to do a agency, so I've kind of come up with the name and then the copy around it, but now it's just trying to figure out, okay, what packages am I going to want to offer, how much am I going to want to charge, and then it's thinking, okay, I need B-roll for the Instagram account, how am I going to market it, am I going to have a website, blah 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 blah, like what my process is going to be. There's like a lot of background stuff, looking into obviously contracts, invoicing, taxes, all the fun stuff. So it's just a lot to figure out, and the days go by so fast. So yeah, I'm just trying to like really home in on one thing at a time. Oh, and I also really want to fix my personal Instagram and YouTube account, because I feel like in the past couple of years I've really, or forever, honestly, I feel like now that I'm getting older, I'm getting a lot more confident and comfortable in my own skin. I really want to rebrand myself, not so much, but more just like be more me, because I've had a tendency to just open up a new Instagram account for like, so example, I had my fitness account, I had my personal account, then I also had like my golf account, which I created because I also sometimes play golf. And I was like, this is just too much. And then you go onto TikTok, and I had like 3 different TikTok accounts, and I was like, this is just too much. Like, how am I expecting to grow on all of them? Like, that's just not sustainable, especially if I want to then also manage other people's accounts and do all these other things. Like, there's only so much time in a day, and I'm only one small little girl, so I can't do it all. So I was thinking, okay, let's quit the golf account, let's go put it all into one account. It doesn't matter. Like, I really don't think, at least for myself, I don't think I need to niche down. because I'm a person with many sides. I feel like I like to do a lot of things. I don't feel like feeling like I'm just pushed into one little circle and it's like, this is what you will do, because you change. Like, I've changed so much in the last few years, so obviously my content is going to change, and I kind of want to grow a following and a community that will change with me and that relates to me and is in a similar position and wants to grow and all this kind of stuff, and we're like, yeah, supporting each other. So running in that stage as well. And I feel like, I don't know, I want to say it doesn't sound like a lot, but then I feel like it might sound like a lot. Again, I'm really bad at being able to say to myself, this is a lot and you're doing a lot. I always seem to think that I'm not doing enough. So I don't know, you guys tell me if that's enough, but I've had my friends say that I'm doing a lot, even though it feels like I'm not. But I am. One thing that's always really stuck with me is that I don't really care to fail. Yes, I'm scared to fail in the eye of the public because then it's more real. But at the same time, I'm not really scared to get a no. And I think that's a really good way to be. Like, I think that's a really good trait of mine, is the fact that I'm happy to ask and be cheeky and like ask for something, and for them to say like no, or for it to not work out and at least say like, okay, I tried. For me personally, my biggest fear is probably being on my deathbed. Like, I know a lot of people, oh my god, this is gonna sound so morbid, but I know a lot of people think, oh my god, like inner child work, all this kind of thing. But for me, if I start thinking of myself on my deathbed and I'm looking back on my life and I'm like, I didn't do all the things that I wanted to do, or I was too scared to do this, or I was too scared to do that. Like, take my YouTube channel, for example. I've been doing YouTube videos for years, and I love making videos. Yes, I sometimes cringe at myself. Well, less now, but I used to. And I used to find it really hard to talk to the camera. But I've always loved creating. And I stopped doing it because I felt I wasn't good at it. For years, I've regretted the times I've stopped. Like, I've started and stopped. I did stop originally in the start because I got bullied. Maybe that's where it comes from. I don't want to get to the state, like to my deathbed, and then still think, I wish I did that thing, because where could it have led me to? And I'm a firm believer of the fact that if I don't do it, so if I don't try and if I don't keep showing up for myself, even if I have a break. For example, I was making YouTube videos pretty often last year, then I had a bit of a break for about 9 months, and then I'm kind of trying to come back to it now. But I wouldn't call that quitting or failing at it. Sorry, there was a fly. My thought process is basically, if I don't keep trying and showing up, what's the alternative? So if I know that making videos, for example, makes me happy, or working on this community that I'm doing makes me happy, if I was to stop doing it, then the alternative is that, okay, there's never going to be a what if with that. If that makes sense. I feel like if I keep showing up and making videos, maybe one day it could be my career, or maybe one day I will become a YouTube partner and make money from YouTube, or I don't know, something like a really cool partnership with a brand might come up. I don't know, it just opens up so many doors, where if I'm to quit and not even bother trying, then I've just closed the door for so many opportunities, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna sit where I am comfortably, you know? I don't know, for me it's just like, if you don't try, you never know what doors are gonna open, where if you just don't bother trying, then you've just closed yourself off to so many amazing things that could have been there for you, even if it doesn't amount to anything. Like, I think we all think that we have to achieve so much for something to be worthwhile, but the older I get, the more I realize that you can do something so small, achieve something so small, and it could open up a tiny little door, or it could open up a big door to something else. So I think that's just the bigger picture of where I am at the minute. Is, yes, I'm comparing myself to others at times, and I really want to avoid that, because it is literally, comparison is the thief of joy, because the content that I can create is very much me, and it opens my doors and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, I just want to keep showing up for myself, because I think that there's so many doors that could be opened, and unless I keep showing up for myself and doing things, I'm never gonna know what doors those are. So essentially, this video is a message to myself and also a message to anyone else. If you are thinking of doing something, whether that's making a YouTube channel, or I don't know, running a marathon or a half marathon, or going to the gym, or I don't know, anything, whatever it is, or opening up your own knitting business, I don't know, if it's anything, just take one small step, because you really don't know where it's going to end up, and it doesn't matter if it's going to take you 5-10 years. Like, you've got time. Cliche as that saying is, of like, you know, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is today. Unless you go and you just try, it doesn't have to be a lot. It could be once a week, once a month. As long as you're doing something, it can open up so many doors which you don't realize. And yeah, Either you stay where you are, especially if you're unhappy in your current situation, which I feel like a lot of us always are. I feel like if you're unhappy with what your current situation is, the worst thing you can do is not do anything. So the best thing you can do is try something. Even if it fails, it didn't really fail because you would have learned something from it. And I think to learn something is worth the failure. That's my little Wednesday evening chat. It's getting a little bit chilly, so I'm gonna head home. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little catch up. If you guys have any questions for me, leave them down in the comments below. I love a little chatty video every now and then. I'm actually really enjoying these kind of videos of just me chatting to you guys about life and where I am at the minute, because I'm trying to figure everything out just as much as everyone else. So if I can share my experiences and someone can relate, then that makes me very happy. And also this is probably a very nice thing for me to look back at in the future. I see you, Anna, in the future. I hope you've achieved and stuck with everything that you're doing now to the best of your ability. To both everyone watching this video and my future self, love you lots. Bye.